The second of the ditches now. Captain John from Tragus, Night Nurse, Roller Coaster, William Penn, Leslie Ann, Raffy Nelson. Number 8 of the 19 in all, Captain John from Night Nurse, Roller Coaster and Tragus. And Raffy Nelson, William Penn, Port Winnick and Leslie Ann very closely grouped. Night Nurse over on the far side, coming to the final ditch now. Night Nurse from Captain John and Leslie Ann at the last ditch. Night Nurse lands in the lead. Captain John second, makes a bad mistake there. Captain John gets away with it, but a bad error. Leslie Ann is coming there strongly over on the far side, and it's Night Nurse now from Leslie Ann and Captain John and Roller Coaster at the second last. Night Nurse in the lead from Captain John, fighting his way back now. David Goulding, Leslie Ann over on the far side. They're coming down now to the final fence, and it's Night Nurse being pressed by Captain John and Leslie Ann. There's very little between the three. Captain John just lands in the lead over on the far side, makes another mistake but gets away with it. Night Nurse on the near side, Captain John on the far side, Leslie Ann in third. Racing into the closing stages, David Goulding in the lead on Captain John from John Joe O'Neill and Night Nurse putting in a tremendous run on the near side to get up. And Night Nurse has won the Bradstone Mandarin from Captain John second, and third was Leslie Ann. Side is Holmore Star. Mount Harvard still running very strongly indeed, and at that one Donegal Prince landed in the lead from Mount Harvard second. Then comes Zarovich on the inside, then for auction Ecbalco's putting in a run now over on the far side. David Goulding coming there very strongly on the far side with also Holmore Star. They're coming down now to the final flight. It's Mount Harvard now, Donegal Prince, Holmore Star and Ecbalco. Ecbalco on the far side. Mount Harvard lands in the lead, and it's Mount Harvard from Ecbalco. Ecbalco, magnificently produced by David Goulding, has just hit the front, but Donegal Prince is fighting back, and it's Ecbalco on the far side, Donegal Prince on the near side, Ecbalco on the far side, Donegal Prince on the near side. It's going to be a photo finish. At the line it's a photo. Ecbalco from here has just won it from Donegal Prince and Mount Harvard. They're the three, Ecbalco, Mount Harvard and Donegal Prince. Very close between them. Behind them were Holmore Star and for all of anguish from the Irish supporters of Daring Run as they run down now towards the third last in the champion hurdle. Donegal Prince is in the lead, being pressed by Migrator. Then over on the far side, coming there strongly is Ecbalco. Broadsword is improving his place. Holmore Star's well there over the third last. Donegal Prince from For Auction right in the battling line now. Then comes Gay Chance over on the far side. Then Ecbalco and another story. It's a very, very wide open race now as they come down towards the second last. For Auction being pressed by Broadsword. and then Ebalco over on the far side, and then Gay Chance. But it's 4 Auction with the advantage from Broadsword, going very strongly just in behind the leaders. Ebalco right there with them, and then Holmore Star. They're coming down towards the final flight now, and it's 4 Auction being pressed by Ebalco and Broadsword. Broadsword between horses. 4 Auction over on the far side. 4 Auction lands in the lead from Ebalco and Broadsword. They're racing into the closing stages, and it's 4 Auction being pressed by Ebalco and Broadsword. 4 Auction for Ireland from Ebalco and Broadsword as they race up towards the line. It's going to be another Irish triumph and a shock victory too. 4 Auction wins the champion hurdle. Second is Broadsword, third Ebalco, 4 Pollardstown, 5 Gay Chance, and then came Holmore Star, and behind him Donegal Prince and Another Story, and Migrator and Potato Merchant, and then Halin, and Halin was the last to finish. And so the result of the Waterford Crystal champion hurdle, first number 7. 4 Auction, owned by Mr. F.B. Heaslip, trained by Michael Cunningham and ridden by Mr. Colin Magnier. Second was number 2, Broadsword, owned by Lord Northampton, trained by David Nicholson and ridden by Peter Scudamore. And third was number 6, Ebalco, owned by Mr. Taufik Fakuri, trained by Roger Fisher, ridden by David Goulding. Fourth was number 14, Pollardstown.
He just lost his action. The ground everywhere throughout the track is pretty deep, but for some reason he just lost his action as he climbed the very steepest part of the hill. I was about 1.5 lengths off of Another Story, Tom Morgan, plenty of room, and he just, for some reason, I thought he might have put his foot in a hole and I walked it back. There are several places where they're big enough to put your helmet into him, but I mean, there's no hole on the track. He possibly made it himself when he stumbled, but he just lost his action and kept stumbling. He felt like, to me, as if he was going to turn over, and then he just didn't, but it was too late for me. It's a bit like the Cowboys and Indians, you know, expecting something like that to happen, and that was it. No chance of recovery for me anyway, you know.
And how well were you going at the time?
At that time, at least 5 horses were going equally as well. I mean, I was only cantering, but you'd expect to be at the top of the hill in the champion hurdle. I mean, that time last year I was going every bit as easy. So was Broadsword, so was Ebalco. I didn't see another for auction the winner, but the horses around me were going as well as well.
And the Plautos coming there strongly on the outside. Kudos is not out of it over the second last. Drumlarkin on the inside, just the leader from Railton and Owner, and Rich D still coming back, and Brown Chamberlain and John Frankham coming there very strongly indeed, cruising on Brown Chamberlain. And it's Drumlarkin and Brown Chamberlain now, Tommy Round and John Frankham the champion, bidding for his first triumph of the meeting, going very easily on the far side on Brown Chamberlain. Drumlarkin on the near side. Railton and Owner still in contention at the final fence now. Drumlarkin lands in the lead from Brown Chamberlain on the far side. Railton and Owner comes next, and it's Brown Chamberlain from Drumlarkin as they race up to the hill. Brown Chamberlain is sprinting, and he's going to go and win this very comfortably indeed. Brown Chamberlain sprints to the line to win it from Railton and Owner, with Drumlarkin just holding on to third place in a photo possibly. He may have just held third place from Drumcondra, then Kudos. Behind him came Rich D, and then Was I Right. Behind Was I Right was Bishop's Bow, then Acarine and Connor Valley, and pulled up was a Plauto. And so the result of the Sun Alliance chase, first number 6, Brown Chamberlain, owned by Mrs. Basil Samuel, being pressed by Rathgorman now. Drumgore on the inside, the Mighty Mac making very significant progress towards the outside of Rathgorman, and at the second last, Rathgorman lands in the lead for the Mighty Mac and Spinning Saint and Drumgore, and then Chinrella, and racing round the home turn, and it's Rathgorman for the north with a clear advantage, and really motoring now. Rathgorman with his white face showing with a clear advantage over the Mighty Mac. Spinning Saint, Drumgore and Chinrella coming to the last. Sooty White looks as though he has it sewn up now for the Michael Dickinson stable if he jumps it. Rathgorman looks as though he's only going to jump it to win the Queen Mother chase. Rathgorman comes to it clear, jumps it well. The Mighty Mac jumps it second and falls. The Mighty Mac is down. Chinrella was gone second, and then Spinning Saint and Drumgore, and racing up towards the line. Rathgorman, or Raffles as he's known as his stable, strides away to win the Queen Mother champion chase in tremendous style. Second winner of the meeting for Michael Dickinson. Rathgorman is the winner of the Queen Mother champion chase. Second is Chinrella. Third is Drumgore, last year's winner. Fourth, Spinning Saint. Then comes Coombs Ditch. Behind him was News King and Hilly-Way. And so the result. First, number 9, Rathgorman, owned by Irishman Mr. James Lilly. Jim Lilly, trained by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Kevin White. From Crimson Ember second, Mount Harvard third, Silent Member 4-5 Hillis Lane, rounding the home turn now. Orient Sunset trying to make it 4 for Ireland. From Crimson Embers for England now. In third place is Mount Harvard as they race towards the final flight. Orient Sunset in the lead, being pressed again now by Crimson Embers. It's Orient Sunset from Crimson Embers. There's very little between them now.
Orient Sunset lands in the lead from Crimson Embers, and here comes Hill of Slane with a great challenge on the near side. Orient Sunset now from Crimson Embers, and Hill of Slane putting in a storming challenge on the near side. It's Crimson Embers who's taken it up now from Hill of Slane on the near side. It's Crimson Embers from Hill of Slane as they race up towards the line. Crimson Embers is going to win it at the line. Crimson Embers wins it. Hill of Slane is second. Third is Orient Sunset, and 4 Silent Member. 5 came Mount Harvard, and 6 My Yacht, and then Last Suspect, and behind them Pickle Tink and Opening Night. And so Crimson Embers beats Hill of Slane for the 3rd successive occasion. First blood for England at the 1982 Cheltenham National
Gold Cup is a very difficult race because it's divided loyalties. As you know, we have mother and son. Mother training the veteran Tide Cottage, who looks an absolute picture here this morning, and her son and great friend Arthur has Royal Bond, and he's going to be there at the finish, and I can see Tidy taking them along at a hell of a gallop until they get to the top of the hill, and I can see Night Nurse, Royal Bond, Venture to Cognac closing, and down the hill Night Nurse will take it up from there at this stage as they race down to the second last. Night Nurse now being tracked by Leslie Ann, Royal Bond making ground significantly on the outside, Venture to Cognac on their heels as they swing down into the straight, 1 fence to jump, and Royal Bond and Tommy Carberry coming to challenge with Venture to Cognac and Night Nurse as the race over the last and up the hill, and at Night Nurse challenging Royal Bond, but Royal Bond holding Night Nurse, and Venture to Cognac with Leslie Ann in 4th, and the 1-2-3 in the 1982 Cheltenham Gold Cup is a win for Mrs. George Malcolmson's Royal Bond, trained by Arthur Moore just outside Naas in County Kildare, and ridden by the 40-year-old Tommy Carberry. Second was Night Nurse, trained by Peter Easterby and ridden by John Joe O'Neill, and third was Venture to Cognac, trained by Fred Winter and ridden by Oliver Sherwood. The distance is 5 lengths and 2.5 lengths, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Cotswold Hills.
Three left to jump now. And it's Tide Cottage once again from Sunset Christo. Silverbuck coming there strongly. Tide Cottage lands in the lead from Sunset Christo. Silverbuck, then comes Brigorn and Diamond Edge. Racing now towards the elbow with 2 fences left to jump in the Gold Cup, and it's Tide Cottage being pressed by Silverbuck. Silverbuck going very strongly. Tide Cottage on the inner. Brigorn coming right there too. Sunset Christo fighting back. Diamond Edge in contention. Just 5 in it now, and it's Silverbuck now with the advantage over Brigorn. These 2 stable companions from Sunset Christo and Diamond Edge over the second last fence, and Silverbuck landed in the lead from Brigorn and Sunset Christo and Diamond Edge, and it's the 2 stable companions. An astonishing finale to the Gold Cup this. Silverbuck from Brigorn, the Michael Dickinson train. Silverbuck lands in the lead. Brigorn jumps in second. Diamond Edge third, and Sunset Christo third. And it's Silverbuck from Brigorn as they race into the closing stages. Silverbuck still being pressed by Brigorn as they race up towards the line. Silverbuck from Brigorn, the Michael Dickinson duo are going to finish 1-2 at the line. Silverbuck wins it. Brigorn is second. Sunset Christo is third. Diamond Edge is 4th. Captain John is 5th. Grittar, the national favourite, is 6th, followed by Venture to Cognac and Tide Cottage and Royal Bond and 2 Swallows, and Leslie Ann and Sugar Alley and P.T. Sandy, and they're the only finishers. And so the result of the 1982 Tote Cheltenham Gold Cup. First, number 16, Silverbuck, owned by Mrs. C. Feather, trained by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Robert Earnshaw. Second was number 2, Brigorn, owned by Mr. M. Keneally, trained by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Graham Bradley. And third, number 20, Sunset Christo, owned by Miss Carol Hawkey, trained by Ray Hawkey, ridden by Chris Grant. And fourth, number 4, Diamond Edge.
Michelle, pulling muscles to Michelle. But behind Charlie, my holiday's complete, and I feel like William Tell, big Marion on her tiptoe feet. Pulling muscles to Michelle, pulling muscles to Michelle. Thank you.
Shoulder there to see where David Goulding had got to and how well he was going to assess where he ought to make his move. Right over the far side of the course now. Pollard's Turn still from Bird's Nest with the remaining trio very close on their heels now. Daring Run, Ecbalco going up on the outside. Broadsword very close to them. David Goulding making an earlier than usual move here on Ecbalco as they swing into the straight. Pollard's Town getting a reminder there from John Franken. Bird's Nest hanging on in second, Ecbalco third. Broadsword very close now, and cruising there is Daring Run, just in behind Pollard's Town as they come down to the third last. Pollard's Town landed in the lead there from Daring Run and Ecbalco. Broadsword trying to make a run towards the stand side. Bird's Nest has dropped out of it. This is the second last flight now. Pollard's Town lands in the lead from Ecbalco and Daring Run. Daring Run going very strongly in between Pollard's Town and Ecbalco, and here comes Broadsword under strong driving from Peter Scudamore on the stand side. And Daring Run, Broadsword to fall over the last, and Daring Run is left with the advantage. Daring Run now from Pollard's Town and Ecbalco. I've seen Broadsword get to his feet all right, and so's Peter Scudamore. And as they race up to the line, Daring Run looks as though he's going to win the first from the Irish, but Pollard's Town is fighting back as they come to the line. A desperate battle as they come to the line. Daring Run just wins it from Pollard's Town with third Ecbalco.
Anyway, and as they go to the third last, it's Grittar and Hard Outlook. Grittar jumps it first, Hard Outlook jumps it second, a long gap to Tragus, then Current Girl, then comes Delmos. And behind Delmos, Loving Words, I think, has been remounted, but as they go across the Melling Road, it's Grittar out clear of Hard Outlook, and a very long gap to Tragus and Current Gold and Delmos, and Loving Words, and over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, it's 48-year-old Dick Saunders on Grittar in the lead from Tony Webber on Hard Outlook, and then there's a very long gap to Current Gold, who's in third place now. Tragus is 4 and Delmos is 5, but the leading duo are a long way clear of Current Gold. Just 2 fences left to be jumped in the 1982 National, and Dick Saunders bidding for history here, the 42-year-old rider, 48-year-old rider on Grittar. He jumps it 3 lengths clear of Hard Outlook in second. And dare one say it, it looks as though there's 1 fence now between him and Grand National History. He's about 5 lengths clear of Hard Outlook in second. Grittar comes and jumps the last, goes through it, and takes some stuffing out of himself, but he's keeping going. It's Grittar from Hard Outlook. Current Gold is just coming to jump the fence now. They're coming to the elbow. They got well over a furlong to run, and it's 48-year-old Dick Saunders on Grittar from Hard Outlook. Grittar strides into the final furlong and is already being acclaimed as the national hero of 1982. Frank Gilman's Grittar strides up to the line to win it in fantastic style. Ears pricked, he's a fresh horse. Grittar wins the national. Second place goes to Hard Outlook, and what a fine race he ran. And here's the long-time leader, Delmos, putting in a revived run to try and get third ahead of Loving Record, who's putting in a tremendous...
from Ottery News and Diamond Edge and King Spruce. Then making up steady ground on the outside, Father Delaney. Chris Grant just where he wanted to be at this stage. Coming down to the third from home, Shady Deal also improving, and it's Wiggy Geo in what's going to be a sprint finish to this Whitbread in the lead from Ottery News in second. Then Father Delaney, and it's Wiggy Geo, Ottery News, Father Delaney, Shady Deal, Diamond Edge coming on the inside. Still on the inside of him is King Spruce. Any one of these could win. Coming down to the second from home, Wiggy Geo, Diamond Edge, Wiggy Geo, King Spruce, Diamond Edge, Ottery News, Shady Deal, and now the crowd are getting into top gear as well. So are all the jockeys. It's very, very open. Coming down to the final fence, and King Spruce comes through. King Spruce comes through to take it up from Ottery News. Shady Deal on the near side, Father Delaney, and not getting a lot of room, but coming well inside the final furlong. Ottery News, but Shady Deal is quickening up the hill. Shady Deal taking up the initiative day up towards the line. Shady Deal's going to win it at the line. Shady Deal the winner. A three-way photo for second between Ottery News, King Spruce and Diamond Edge. Then Father Delaney and Wiggy Geo. Then a big gap to Earthstopper, an even bigger gap to Harwell Abbey, and the bottom weight Gunmetal just finishing. Well, that's one of the most exciting Whitbreads you'll ever want to see.
Now, before our next programme, we go back to the newsroom and Jan Leeming.
Within the past hour, the Ministry of Defence announced important progress in the battle to recapture the Falklands. British paratroops have retaken Darwin and Goose Green. Initial reports are that British casualties are light. In Argentine air attacks on the San Carlos beachhead earlier, 4 Marines and a Royal Engineer were reported killed and 20 more wounded. This is how the Ministry spokesman reported tonight's British success.
We have just learned that the 2nd Battalion of the Parachute Regiment has taken Darwin and Goose Green. The Argentine forces suffered casualties and a number of prisoners have been taken. Initial reports are that British casualties are light, and the next of kin are being informed. No additional information is yet available, either in Whitehall or in the service information centres. Please do not ring them. As soon as we have any information, a further announcement will be made.
The thumbs up from assistant starter Bill Rees, and the starter Dick Smalley says all in, and out they come. And in the early stage of the race, they're well packed with Hello Cuddles and Time Charter, the 2 early leaders, followed by the favourite for France, Play It Safe. Then in 4 is the outsider Panatella at 200 to 1. After her, in the red cap, comes on the house towards the outsider Merlin's Charm, and also for France Exclusive Order. They've come 2 furlongs now, and it's Hello Cuddles with a broad white blaze nearest to the camera from Time Charter. Close up after these 2 is the favourite Played Safe and Lester Piggott. Behind her comes on the house Panatella and Dione. Then after Dione over on the far rails is Merlin's Charm. Then comes Stratospheric. They're coming now inside the final 5 furlongs in the 1,000 guineas, and with Hello Cuddles and Time Charter having led throughout, Played Safe the favourite in third, and it's back to Graham in the stands.
And the second favourite, Slightly Dangerous, somewhere adrift at this stage. Got just over 4 furlongs to go. Time Charter in the lead from Hello Cuddles and Play It Safe. On the far side, Triple Merlin's Charm and Dione. Then just in behind them on the house and Warm Hearted, and then the French one Exclusive Order getting in closer contention. Then Panatella up on the outside. Hello Cuddles is weakening quickly. Just over 2 furlongs to go. Time Charter in the lead. Time Charter the leader. From on the house in second place, and Play It Safe is third, and then Dione coming with a very late one on the very wide outside, Slightly Dangerous, with a furlong and a half to go, and Time Charter has the advantage from on the house. Time Charter on the house, and just over a furlong from home, it's on the house now that strikes the front, on the house in the lead from Time Charter. Then comes Dione, Play It Safe, the favourite, under pressure and beaten at this stage. Inside the final furlong, on the house has the advantage from Time Charter. Dione staying on third, Play It Safe is 4. Then comes Stratospheric and 5, but coming up towards the line. On the house is going to win the 1,000 guineas up the line. On the house is the winner. Time Charter is second, Dione is third. In a photo with Play It Safe, then Slightly Dangerous and Stratospheric. Then came Celestial Path and the Exclusive Order and Merlin's Charm, and the back markers include God Bless, Panatella, but the last one to pass the post was Hello Cuddles, and so the result of this, the 1,000 guineas, is a win for number 8 on the house, owned by Sir Philip Oppenheimer, trained here at Newmarket by Harry Ragg, ridden by John Reed.
It is almost a record-sized field, in fact. All in, you hear the start of Nick Smalley say, and away they go in the 2,000 guineas. And very quickly out towards the outside for France was Zeno. But going with him is Wind and Wuthering, and right behind those two Macmillan. And close up for the north is Full Extent. Then comes Bold Fort. Behind him also for Ireland is Daramonic. Leicester's going well on Rare Gift, and then comes Niolago. But as you see, they've split into two groups. And leading the far side group at the moment is Wind and Wuthering, followed by Zeno and Full Extent, while over on the near side it's Wong Choi and very prominent Silly Season and Mirabeau, and right after these Rebellino, and after Rebellino comes Steel Bay. The favourite Silverhawk is quite well placed, but last at the moment for Ireland is Royal Rendezvous. Come On the Blues is badly placed as well, but coming on now down towards the halfway stage in the 2,000 guineas, two distinct groups of runners in this big field. Back to Graham Goad in the grandstand.
And to the left of the picture, it's Wind and Wuthering, Zeno and Full Extent, and on the near side, Vincent Bennett showing good speed, and on the near side rail, Silverhawk trying to come with a run. Silly Stephen is also up with the leaders on the near side, and so too is Wong Choi. And it's the far side that have the advantage, with just over 3 furlongs to go, and it's Zeno, Wind and Wuthering from Daramonic, who's finishing strongly. 2.5 furlongs to go in the 2,000 guineas. Wind and Wuthering and Zeno and Daramonic, then Rebellino coming down the centre of the track. Wind and Wuthering in the lead. Wind and Wuthering from Zeno, the French challenger. Zeno and Wind and Wuthering with Tender Heart finishing, Tender King finishing very fast, coming inside the final furlong. Zeno has the advantage from Wind and Wuthering. Wind and Wuthering and Zeno from Tender King, going well inside the final furlong. Wind and Wuthering, Zeno, Tender King well clear from finishing very fast. Rockamador as they come towards the line. It's Zeno just has the advantage. A photograph finish. Zeno, Wind and Wuthering, Tender King, Rockamador, then Silverhawk had achieved in final strike, and Daramonic, then Rebellino, then comes Montague, Wong Choi. The back markers include Mirabeau and the last horse.
Well, as if this young man hasn't made enough history in the last 12 months.
120.
Here again we might see the first legitimate 147 break ever to be made on television.
122.
All the colours on the spots. But you can imagine the tension that's building up in young Steve at the moment.
125.
Well, Steve is looking very, very calm. Normally this would be elementary, but under these circumstances, every pot is so difficult. Come on round.
129.
Is that a bit further? Well, if anybody can knock these 3 balls in, this man can.
Well, of course, that's the great thing about this young fella, David. His nerves of steel, or seems to have. Now, is this cue ball going to get onto the fence? No, it isn't. Now we're going to have to see a super shot here.
Well, come on, Steve. Pull a fabulous shot out. I'm sure you can do it. And he's playing this with a lot of screw to stay on the black. Come on, get him. Fabulous shot. Fabulous shot. And this is it. The first 147 break on television.
140.
Well, I'm shaking.
And I'll bet
This
Steve at this moment can see the pocket closing up and closing up and getting smaller.
No. There it is! Beautiful! 147!
Unbelievable.
Absolutely magnificent break. Oh, what an incredible man.
They're off. And in the early stages achieved well there. Also showing early speed towards the inside is Full Extent. Gouverno well there too, and just behind these Barbender. And also Wind and Wuthering as they run along now, having covered about 1.5 furlongs. Running towards the elbow, Wind and Wuthering well there, also Full Extent. Cajun tracking the leaders as they run around towards the 5 furlong point. Wind and Wuthering prominent with Gouverno, Full Extent over on the far side. Straightening up now with over 5 furlongs to race, and it's Full Extent in the lead from Wind and Wuthering in second. Philip Barton in touch, Anfield just behind the leaders. On the outside comes Achieved and also Red Sunset. Tracking them on the far side is Raconteur. As they run down past the 4 furlong marker and full extent over on the far side, Wind and Wuthering, Raconteur going well. They're followed by Anfield on the outside. In the blinkers is Red Sunset. Darrow Monarch just behind them. Cajun tracking the leaders towards the far side. Running down towards the 3 furlong marker now and full extent, Wind and Wuthering, Anfield on the outside, Red Sunset. And as they run towards the 2 furlong pole, it's Wind and Wuthering and Anfield with Red Sunset on the outside, Barbender, Raconteur on the far side, Cajun poised to challenge inside the last 2 furlongs now, and it's Anfield and Wind and Wuthering on the near side of these is Red Sunset. Over on the far side, Tender King coming there strongly, and inside the final furlong it's Anfield, Tender King, Darrow Monarch finishing well on the near side and racing well inside the final furlong. Darrow Monarch has gone to the front on the near side. It's Darrow Monarch the leader from Tender King in second and Red Sunset, and as they race to the finish it's Darrow Monarch out in front, and Darrow Monarch wins the Guineas from Tender King, Red Sunset. Then Anfield and Wind and Wuthering together achieve Raconteur, Barbender. Behind Barbender comes Cajun. Behind Cajun is Gouverno. Behind Gouverno, Chivalry, then Philip Martin and the early leader, Full Extent. One of the last to finish, and last of all, in fact, is Malspin.
2.5 furlongs to go. Ardross in the lead, but Little Wolf is with him. Ardross, Little Wolf and Capstan. Ardross in the lead, Capstan, Little Wolf. These two beginning to draw away from central line. Inside the final quarter mile, Ardross having to be ridden for all his worth, in fact. Furlong and a half to go. Ardross just being not ridden for all his worth, kept up to his work, I should say. Capstan is in second place on the rails, coming inside the final furlong. And here is Ardross coming home. Ardross by a length and a half. Little Wolf, though, staying on, but coming inside the final half furlong. Ardross going to win it quite handsomely at the line. Ardross is the winner, a photograph for second place between Capstan and Little Wolf. And it's Prince B, one of the early leaders. Glint of Gold going up on the outside, and now Pacemaker Showleg going into the lead. As they run through the first furlong, it's Showleg from Glint of Gold. Then comes Prince B and Critique, then Protection Racket and Easter Sun. Then comes Lancastrian, and the back marker at this stage is Castle Keep. And at the end of the first 2 furlongs, Showleg in the lead from in second place, Glint of Gold, then comes Prince B and Critique. Then Easter Sun and Lancastrian. These are followed by Protection Racket, and the back marker is Castle Keep. Quite a sensible pace, not a blistering pace, a sensible fast pace being set by Showleg as they come to the rise at the top of the hill. Just over a mile to go. Showleg, Glint of Gold. Then comes Prince B and Critique in fourth place. Critique just a little bit moody in front of the stands, and Leicester just having to get down there and niggle him along in fourth place. They are at the top of the hill on the far side. 7 furlongs to go. Showleg from Glint of Gold and Prince B and Critique. Then Easter Sun and Protection Racket, Lancastrian and Castle Keep. Lancastrian just being niggled along there by Freddie Hedge, you can see, in fourth place. So it's still Showleg, Paul Cook in the lead from Glint of Gold, absolutely cantering as they come down the hill. Then comes Prince B in third. Critique up on the outside of him is in fourth, and Easter Sun. And on the outside of Easter Sun is Protection Racket, Alan Lecoeur, that one going well. Then Castle Keep has passed Lancastrian as they begin the descent to Tattenham Corner. Showleg still in the lead, Glint of Gold going superbly easily in second place. Then Prince B is third and Critique is fourth and Easter Sun fifth. Then comes Protection Racket and Castle Keep and Lancastrian just out on the inside. Castle Keep going well, but it's Glint of Gold that now goes on as they head for home. Critique is his challenger in second place. Then comes Prince B closing on these, then Easter Sun. Then making up ground on the outside is Castle Keep. 2.5 furlongs to go. Glint of Gold in the lead in this, the Coronation Cup. From in second place, Critique. Then comes Prince B, hemmed in on the rails. A furlong and a half to go. Glint of Gold, Critique, Prince B, with Easter Sun unleashing a run up on the very wide outside. Coming inside the final furlong, and Easter Sun throwing down the challenge to Glint of Gold. Easter Sun and Glint of Gold. Glint of Gold just holding on, but Easter Sun is finishing very strongly as they come up towards the line. Easter Sun just gets it at the line. It's a photograph for Easter Sun for me from Glint of Gold and Critique, then Castle Keep, then Prince B and Lancastrian, and behind Lancastrian came Protection Racket, and trailing in under orders, and they're away. Palace goes a little bit slowly into its stride, and it's Reef Clay that leads in the very early stages from Wong Choi up on the outside. With the leaders too is Kampalan, then on the inside is Florida Sun. They begin the stiff uphill climb, and it's Florida Sun going on from Reef Glade and Lobkowitz, then Kampalan, then Wong Choi. At this stage, Issa Martin and Persepolis are last. Pat Edery and Golden Fleece are last, but 2 or 3. They continue their journey up the stiff climb on the far side of the track, with Florida Sun in the lead. From Lobkowitz in second place, then comes Norwick in third, then just on the outside of these is Touching Wood, then behind Touching Wood up on the outside comes Wong Choi, and behind Wong Choi, Reef Glade, then up on the inside of Reef Glade, Jalmood, then Fitzwarren, then Kampalan up on the outside. They're at the top of the hill now, a mile left to race in the Derby, and it's Florida Sun in the lead, Florida Sun the leader, from Reef Glade up on the outside of Lobkowitz, and then up on the inside comes Norwick, and behind these comes Touching Wood, then Wong Choi up on the outside. They begin the turn at the top of the hill with just 7 furlongs left to race. Florida Sun in the lead. From in second place Lobkowitz, then Norwick on the inside, then up on the outside is Reef Glade. Come to the halfway stage in the Derby, Florida Sun on the rails in the lead. From up on the outside Reef Glade, then comes Lobkowitz, Norwick going well for Greville Starkey, then Touching Wood. Golden Fleece is towards the rear at this stage, so too is Persepolis. Jalmood has plenty to do, Super Sunrise is under pressure, but Golden Fleece is going well on the rails. They've got 4.5 furlongs left to go, and it's Florida Sun in the lead. Reef Glade comes under pressure, Norwick's in third place. They begin the descent to Tattenham Corner. Florida Sun with Peacetime and Joe Mercer making up ground on the outside, and as they turn into the home straight, it's Florida Sun, Peacetime up on the outside, then Father Rudy coming up on the very wide outside. Persepolis is making up ground. Pat Henry is switched to the outside on Golden Fleece, and that one's making up ground, so doing Super Sunrise. Palace Gold coming with a run, but they've got 2.5 furlongs left to race, and it's Norwick in the lead from Peacetime and Touching Wood. Here comes Golden Fleece in fourth place and making up a lot of ground upon the outside, going very well for Pat Henry. And with a furlong and a half to go, it's Norwick on the rails, Golden Fleece upon the outside, and Golden Fleece and Pennery storm through into the lead. A 6 Derby victory in prospect here for Vincent O'Brien as they come inside the final furlong. Golden Fleece, Touching Wood, Norwick from Persepolis, who's finishing fast, but as they come up toward the line, Golden Fleece from Touching Wood, Silverhawk and Persepolis are at the line. Golden Fleece the winner, Touching Wood is second, then came Silverhawk, then Persepolis, then Norwick, then Palace, Golden Fleece, Time and Rockamador, then Campal and Tibbles and Father Rooney, Super Sunrise, then Fitzpatrick and Lobkowitz and John Moon, a very big disappointment, then Wong Choi, Reef Glade, and towards the rear was Florida Sun. And so the result of this, the 203rd Derby, is a win for number 5, Golden Fleece, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained by Vincent O'Brien, ridden by Pat Henry. What a marvellous triumph for Pat this. All was going well up on the outside. Second was number 19, Touching Wood and Paul Cook. And officially, it's a photograph for third place between Silverhawk and Persepolis. Well, there is, thumbs go up, you hear they're all in, they're under orders and they're off. And as they begin to settle down up on the outside, Time Charter showing very good speed in Devon Air, and now it's Devon Air going on. From Brummondale in second place, Devon Air and Brummondale, the two outsiders lead the Oaks in the early stages. From Dione in last feather, and then comes Swiftfoot, and behind Swiftfoot, Time Charter. Then the French Challenger all along, and behind that one on the near side is Caddy Har. They continue their stiff uphill climb, and it's Brummondale now going on, ridden by David Dione. He's first ever ride in a classic, this one, this grey. Brummondale the leader. From in second place, Time Charter. Devon Air, I should say, second. Then up on the outside, Swiftfoot is third. These are then followed by Dione up on the inside and last feather. Then comes Caddy Har on the inner, but it's Brummondale in the lead from last feather on the outside of Devon Air. Then comes Dione in fourth and last feather, and Caddy Har on the inside. Lester Piggott on Tunts making up ground on the outer that is of Time Charter. Then comes Slightly Dangerous. Towards the rear of this field is Panettery on Zinzara. The field very closely grouped indeed at the top of the hill, where Brummondale now surrendering the lead to up on the outside. Up on the outside it's Cut Loose. And also up there is Swiftfoot. So they begin the descent into Tattenham Corner, and as they do so, the grey Brummondale now being passed on the outside by Swiftfoot, then Dione making up ground, and then Devon Air. Then comes last feather, Lester Piggott on the very wide outside on Tans. Behind him is Avoir Sif, and as they begin the journey into the home straight, begin the descent to Tattenham Corner, and it's Swiftfoot in the lead from Debonair in second place. Then comes Last Feather. Then just in behind these, Slightly Dangerous. Leicester getting ever closer up on the outside. The French challenger is last but one. Last of all is the early leader, Brummondale. And they begin the turn into the home straight with Swiftfoot on the rails in the lead. Then Caddy Har, and up on the outside Last Feather. Debonair in behind these. Then comes Dione, Slightly Dangerous. Willie Carson looking for ground. Time Charter comes under pressure. The pace really quickening there. They've got just over 2.5 furlongs to go. And it's Last Feather in the lead. Last Feather the leader from Caddy Har in second. Then comes Slightly Dangerous and Time Charter staying on. Leicester Piggott on the wide outside under pressure and seemingly held at this stage. A furlong and a half to go in the Oaks. And it's Last Feather being tackled by stable companion Slightly Dangerous. Slightly Dangerous and Last Feather. But Time Charter under Billy News is coming with a strong run down the centre of the track. Zinzara is finishing fast behind his Owasif. And inside the final furlong, Time Charter. The first classic victory inside for Billy News. At the line, Time Charter the winner, Slightly Dangerous is second. Then came in third place Last Feather behind him, Owasif. Then Zinzara and all along. Then Cutterbird and Caddy Har. Then Tanta disappointing run. Then Dione and Debonair. And the back markers include Brummondale, and last of all was Swiftfoot. And so the result of this, the Oaks, is a win for number 12, Time Charter, owned by Mr. R. Barnett, trained upon...
Man of the hour, Billy Newns, congratulations from all of us. And how unexpected to you?
Not really, not at all. I mean, she's beat everything in the race before. It was just a trip that worried me.
Well, she's by a sprinter. Some of us pundits were saying she had no possible chance of staying a mile and a half.
Well, I had every confidence in her.
You had confidence she would stay?
Yeah, it's better filly today than in the Guineas, and the stables connections knew all that.
Well, in the race, they didn't go very quickly. How much did that help you?
Well, it didn't help me really, because she can be a bit keen early on, but she settled okay after a furlong, and possibly it did help me in the end.
And then, of course, when you switched in, here you are, the final moments. Did you think you could pick them off? Because they've still got, what, 2 or 3 lengths to make up on Slightly Dangerous and Last Feather.
As soon as we met the rising ground, I knew I was always going to win then. She's very game, and she's so tough. She's more like a man than a filly.
Here she comes. Well, you're pretty tough in the boxing ring, Billy, but what did it feel like as you knew you were going to win?
What a thrill. I've never felt so good. I'll enjoy myself tonight.
Well, it's tremendous. Congratulations to all us. Just tell us, how many years riding?
It's 5 years, exactly, in the saddle.
5 years riding, the first classic sets, first of many, Billy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed.
See it on BBC Two if you're not staying with us to see the jump off in the Sweeps Derby, and they're running here. They're running with Bruckner in the lead. Raconteur going to take it off him now. Assert in third place. Then comes Grateful Air, whose rider's lost his cap already. Behind them comes Silverhawk in the back mark. At the moment is Fabuloso, and Raconteur has gone to the front. Raconteur from his stable companion Assert, who's taken a very strong hold. Bruckner is in third, then comes Grateful Air, and then Silverhawk with Patcher on his outside. Behind Patcher is Royal Rendezvous, then Fabuloso and Condell. And they're running down now towards the 9 furlong pole, and as they do so, it's Raconteur and Wallace Winburn, who's on his back for the first time in his life, leading by about 4 lengths from Assert. Then on the inside comes Bruckner. On the outside of Bruckner, Silverhawk making good progress. Then comes Grateful Air. Behind Grateful Air is Patcher. The back marker is Condell with Remanded and Fabuloso, and still Raconteur taking him along as they come towards the 7th furlong pole in the Irish Sweeps Derby. It's Raconteur in the lead from Assert in second. Silverhawk is next, and then comes Bruckner. Behind Bruckner is Condell. Behind Condell, Grateful Air, and then just in behind them comes Patcher. Royal Rendezvous on the inside. Racing towards the 6th furlong pole, and still Raconteur in the lead. From in second place, the odds-on favourite Assert. Then comes Silverhawk for England, and then Bruckner. Then Condell towards the outside. Fabuloso is making a little bit of progress. Noble Air is getting closer to them too, but they're racing towards the home turn with just over half a mile to run, and it's Raconteur being pressed by his stable companion Assert, who's come up on his inside now. Wallace Winburn eased up. Then Christy Roach through on the inner, and it's Assert now who struck the front with 3 furlongs to run. From Raconteur in second. Then comes Silverhawk, and then Bruckner, and then Condell, and then Fabuloso. Coming down towards the 2 furlong pole. Assert has stormed well clear now at the 2 furlong pole from Raconteur and Silverhawk, and then comes Bruckner, and then Condell, and then Fabuloso. And it's Assert striding away to win this all on his own. he's past the furlong pole. Christy Rose has looked over his left shoulder. There's no conceivable danger to a third now as he strides up towards the line. Silverhawk is going to be second and Thatcher third, and as they come to the line, a third Quincyton and positive Catcher. Silverhawk is second, third is Thatcher, 4 Fabuloso, 5 Condell, 6, 7, 8 and 9, where Raconteur remanded Bruckner. Royal
Stakes for 2 years was Bronsbury at 11 to 8 on. And Tony Ives' first task was to get him down to the post without his getting away from him. The last time he ran here at Ascot, he went down far too free. Coming back, he went just a little bit quicker.
And they're away. Bronsbury over towards the left of the picture. Goes straight into the lead from Crayon, Bold Bob, Bal Royale towards the right. Crayon and Bold Bob chasing Bronsbury, with Bal Royale making good ground now on the inside, on the right of the picture, that is, as we see them. But as they cross the intersection there, you'll note that Bronsbury had a 2-length advantage over Lester Piggott on the right, on Bal Royale, who's gone a clear second now ahead of Bold Bob and Crayon. And drifting a little bit towards the left, he is Bronsbury, and he's gone right over to the far rail, to run up the rail, Tony Ives. And he's past the 2 furlong pole. Bronsbury in the lead. Crayon is under pressure. Bal Royale getting nowhere now, and in fact has been passed by Bold Bob. They're racing down towards the furlong pole, and it's Bronsbury being chased all the time by Crayon, and Crayon making very definite progress now as they come up towards the line. But it's Bronsbury from Crayon. Crayon still challenging towards the near side. Bronsbury from Crayon. Bronsbury and Crayon as they race towards the line. It's very close indeed. Bronsbury's just won it from Crayon.
Bronsbury the winner, 11 to 8 on. Crayon second at 4 to 1. Murray third at 50 to 1.
Amindas is the first to show. Amindas going on from La Fontaine and Huyton, and behind them come Capstan. And then on the inside, Glint of Gold, then Critique and Centurious and Stanera. As they run down towards Swinley Bottom in this driving rain, La Fontaine has gone on from Huyton and Amindas, then Capstan and Glint of Gold, with Stanera on the outside of Glint of Gold, and then Centurious and Critique. And they're racing already to the mile pole, with La Fontaine, Steve Corson in the lead from Huyton and Amindas. Then comes Capstan and Glint of Gold, Stanera, Centurious and Critique. Inside the final mile already, La Fontaine in the lead from Huyton second, Amindas third, 4 is Capstan, 5 is Glint of Gold, 6, 7 and 8 are Stanera, Centurious and Critique. And still La Fontaine making it as they pass the 7 furlong pole, make towards the 6 now. From Huyton in second, Amindas third, then comes Capstan. Glint of Gold is travelling well in 5th. Behind him comes Stanera, then Centurious, and finally Critique at the 6 furlong pole. Still La Fontaine in the lead from Amindas, going up on the inside of Huyton. Capstan is 4th, 5 is Glint of Gold still, 7, 8 and 9 are Stanera, Centurious and Critique, but Critique getting closer now. Racing towards the half-mile pole in the Hardwicke Stakes, and still La Fontaine and Steve Corson in the lead from Amindas in second. Glint of Gold making a run now towards the outside, has moved into third, is going to challenge Amindas for second as they race round the home turn, but still La Fontaine and Steve Corson with the advantage from Amindas and Glint of Gold. Then comes Stanera on the outside of Capstan, then Centurious, Critique making ground, relegated Huyton to last. They're into the home stretch now with just over 2.5 furlongs to run, and still La Fontaine in the lead from Amindas, Glint of Gold, Stanera into the final 2 furlongs now. Still La Fontaine from Amindas, Glint of Gold, Stanera. Then comes Critique unleashing a run. They're coming down to the furlong pole, and it's La Fontaine being pressed by Stanera with in between horses Glint of Gold, then Critique on the near side. La Fontaine over on the far side, battling back again. Critique, Lester Piggott coming there very strongly on the near side though to take it up. Critique is going to win it as they come to the line. Critique is the winner of the Hardwicke Stakes. Second is Glint of Gold. It's a photo for third between Stanera and La Fontaine. Amindas came next, and then Capstan, and then Centurious, and finally Huyton. So the result of the Hardwicke Stakes: first, number 6 Critique, owned by Mr. Garo Vanyan, trained by Henry Cecil, ridden by Lester Piggott. Second for me was number 2 Glint of Gold. Kinda Hush coming very strongly on the sand side. Castle Keep coming over on the far side. Lobkowitz with his 8-pound overweight, and Pat Edery in the lead from Kinda Hush, but Kinda Hush coming to challenge now, and it's Lobkowitz from Kinda Hush as they race into the closing stages. Lobkowitz and Kinda Hush together. Lobkowitz on the far side, Kinda Hush on the near side. It's going to be very close indeed at the line. It's a photo between Kinda Hush and Lobkowitz.
Hindhaposh getting up in the last stride to give Steve Cawthon his first winner at the Royal Meet. One of the outstanding performances of the whole week. Dara Monarch in the St James's Palace.
Dara Monarch also towards the outside, coming there very strongly, Michael Cannan. And it's Dara Monarch who hits the front now and being chased by Tender King, Pat Ellery on the near side. But it's Dara Monarch from Tender King now as they race into the closing stages. Dara Monarch from Tender King. Dara Monarch going away from Tender King as they race up towards the line. Dara Monarch from Tender King, and he's going to hold him as they come up towards the line. Dara Monarch wins the St James's Palace Stakes and Tender King is second.
Dara Monarch lifting himself towards the £1 million bracket and giving Michael one of the outstanding performances of the whole week. Dara Monarch in the St James's Palace.
Dara Monarch also towards the outside, coming there very strongly, Michael Cannan. And it's Dara Monarch who hits the front now and being chased by Tender King, Pat Ellery on the near side. But it's Dara Monarch from Tender King now as they race into the closing stages. Dara Monarch from Tender King. Dara Monarch going away from Tender King as they race up towards the line. Dara Monarch from Tender King, and he's going to hold him as they come up towards the line. Dara Monarch wins the St James's Palace Stakes and Tender King is second.
Dara Monarch lifting himself towards the £1 million bracket and giving Michael Cannan.
Well inside the final half mile. Zudo from Noelino racing up sides him now, then El Barda, then Ardross going round the outside of El Barda, and then Tipperary Fixer under pressure from Maurice Philipperon. They're racing to the 2 furlong pole now, and it's Noelino who's taken it up from Zudo, El Barda challenging, and Ardross coming there very strongly towards the right of the picture as we see them, and Lester Piggott coming to take it up now on Ardross. And as they race past the furlong pole, it's Ardross going away now from El Barda, Noelino and Tipperary Fixer, and as they race up towards the line, here's another for Ardross as they come up towards the line in the Gold Cup. Ardross is going to win it in tremendous style. Going to be close for second, but Ardross is the winner, and it's a photo for second between Noelino, Tipperary Fixer with in between horses El Barda, and finally the brave little Zudo, the Polish bred Zudo from Sweden. And so the result of the Gold Cup is first, number 2, Ardross, owned by Mr. Charles St George, trained by Henry.
Height of fashion from Amindus and Ardross and Ashenden still close up, coming inside the final furlong, and it's Height of Fashion in the lead from Amindus. Then comes Ardross in third, inside the final furlong, and Height of Fashion, who's made all the running, still in the lead from Amindus in second place, and Ardross, I'm afraid to say, is beaten. Leicester has accepted the situation. Height of Fashion's going to win it quite handsomely. Height of Fashion, the winner. Amindus is second. Ardross is only third. And Ashenden. Just that's it. They're all in. They're under orders. They're off. And as they begin to settle down, Croft Hall showing very good speed, but now it's Kind Music going on. Kind Music from Blue Courtier, the French are first and second at this stage. Then comes Tina's Pet. Towards the left of the picture is Lucky Hunter. The favourite is towards the right of the picture, right on the rails. They've gone through the first furlong, and it's Kind Music with the noseband, and Blue Courtier also with the noseband, just ahead of Tina's Pet in third. Then comes Croft Hall. Then towards the left is Diamond Cutter. On the extreme left is Lucky Hunter. To the right of that one, as we look at them, is Jester. On the extreme right of the picture is Indian King, and they're coming down to the halfway stage already. Croft Hall has the advantage from Kind Music, then Diamond Cutter, then Lucky Hunter, then behind these Vaguely Star getting a run. Tina's Pet, Indian King and Greville Starkey having to work on the rails. A quarter of a mile left to race. and it's Tina's Pet now from up with the leaders, Kind Music. Coming very fast is Vaguely Star. Indian King coming with a run now on the rails, coming inside the final furlong, and it's Indian King on the rails from Vaguely Star, Indian King, then Gabidat finishing fast, then Tina's Pet coming with a very, very fast one is Tender King, coming well inside the final furlong, and so too Sharpo, and it's Sharpo from Vaguely Star, Indian King coming up towards the line. Sharpo has it by half a length, Sharpo the winner, Vaguely Star second, Indian King third, then Tender King and Gabitat, then Not For Show and Tina's Pet, then Diamond Cutter, then Jester, a disappointing run, then Blue Singer and Croft, Horn and Kind Music, and Lucky Hunter, Blue Cordia, Prince Echo, and the back marker last of all was Molly. And so the result of this, the William Hill July Cup, was a win for number 7 Sharpo, owned by Miss Monica Sheriff and Mr. F.A.R. Packard, trained at Marlborough by Jeremy Tree, ridden by Pat Edery, and that was the 42nd.
George, Ardross's owner, throws a brunch party at his Newmarket home. The guests include many prominent owners and trainers, but none more so than Robert Sangster, multi-millionaire owner of Vernon's Pools, and a vast string of racehorses, which includes this year's Derby favourite, Golden Fleece, trained by Vincent O'Brien.
I suppose Vincent thinks this Derby horse is an exceptional horse, is he?
Yeah. Charles was telling me an interesting thing that Mickey Rogers has only had one bet, and that was on Roberta, £100, and he rang him last Sunday and said, would you put £100 on Golden Fleece? And you know how conservative Mickey is.
Well, I don't know, but I've heard that he is.
Bull is the first to admit that it was his university education which threw him into a society far removed from that of coal mining. He also admits that his relationship with this society has not always been an easy one.
On my first day when I walked into the university, I walked in wearing a pair of spats. The place was populated by public school boys. And the moment they saw the spats, it wasn't 10 seconds before I was upended and on my back the spats were taken off and put on the top of the mantelpiece. And that's where they stayed. I didn't belong among the public school element.
As well as introducing the young Bull to the public school element, university gave him the opportunity to study the work of the other great influence in his life, George Bernard Shaw.
What we had seen at school, the only plays we had read, were Shakespearean ones. The Shaw play was the real world, not somebody else's world 300 years ago. And it was full of ideas, and the conversation was sparkling. The ideas were new, and they were a revelation.
That's it. They're all installed for the 32nd running of the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. The white flag up there under orders underway, and a little bit slow was Height of Fashion there, and going on in the early stages is Bicala with La Fontaine on the inside. La Fontaine on the inside of Bicala, then comes Glint of Gold in third, Carla Glow in 4, 5 just behind him is Easter Sun, then comes Assert, Critique, and then Height of Fashion, who's just relegated Dronicari to last place, and now Bicala has taken over. Bicala and young Serge Gawley in the lead from La Fontaine. Then comes Carla Glow and Glint of Gold, then Assert towards the outside of Easter Sun, then Height of Fashion, Critique, and finally Dronicaria. Racing towards the milepole, and still Bicala for France in the lead from La Fontaine in second. Carla Glow going smoothly in third. Glint of Gold is 4. Assert the favourite is 5. Then comes Easter Sun, then Height of Fashion, then comes Critique, and finally Dronicaria. Racing towards the 7 furlong pole in the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes, and Bicala with a 2-length advantage over La Fontaine in second. Carla Glow going smoothly in third. Glint of Gold comes next with Assert on his outside. Just behind them come Height of Fashion and Easter Sun and Critique, and finally Dronicaria, and still Bicala and Serge Gawley in the lead from La Fontaine and Steve Cawthon. Then comes Greville Starkey on Carla Glow, then comes Christy Roach on Assert on his outside, and then going well just in behind him is Glint of Gold, then Height of Fashion, who's making progress. Behind Height of Fashion is Critique making ground with Easter Sun. Dronicaria is last, and they're racing towards the half-mile pole now, and as they do so, it's Bicala still on the inside in the lead, being pressed still by La Fontaine. Assert has gone third. Carla Glow's a very close fourth. Then comes Glint of Gold, rounding the home turn in the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes, and it's Bicala being pressed now by his younger brother Assert. It's Bicala now from Assert, Serge Gawley from Christy Roach. Glint of Gold is finishing well on the outside. Lester Piggott's poised just in behind him. Carla Glow still well in touch. La Fontaine's losing ground, and Glint of Gold coming there with a very strong challenge now on the right of the picture. It's Bicala over on the far side, Assert in the centre, Glint of Gold is next, Carla Glow is fourth. They're racing up into the closing stages now, and it's a Cert with the advantage from Glint of Gold. The 3-year-old from the 5-year-old. Carla Glow is finishing well over on the far side, and it's a Cert now from Carla Glow as they race up towards the line. A Cert from Carla Glow. Carla Glow is beginning to get up, but as they come to the line, Carla Glow wins it. Carla Glow wins it from a Cert. Second, third, Glint of Gold. Then came Critique and Bicala behind them, Easter Sun, and then Hyde of Fashion, and last La Fontaine. I say last La Fontaine, but Johnny Carlio in fact is last, a long way behind the remainder. And so the result of the 1982 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. First, number 6, Carla Glow, owned by Mr. A.P. Ward, trained by Guy Harwood and ridden by Greville Starkey. Second was number 8.
Eclipse Stakes, you heard, they're all in, and they're on their way with Silver Season, the early leader in the early stages, from Carla Glow. Then comes Lobkowitz, so it's Stable Companion, Silver Season and Lobkowitz leading, from Carla Glow in third, and then Rockamador, and then Kind of Hush, and then Peacetime, then Yaza Man and Prima Voce and Telephone Man. Silver Season leading. They're quite closely grouped. They've run 2 furlongs. Silver Season from Carla Glow now goes into second place. Lobkowitz is third. Telephone Man is 4 and Rockamador 5. Then comes Kind of Hush and Yaza Man, and behind him Peacetime, and the back marker at this stage is Prima Voce. About 8 lengths between the first and last, and the first is Silver Season, the last is Prima Voce. It's Silver Season in the lead, from in second place Carla Glow, then Lobkowitz and Telephone Man. Then comes Rockamador and Kind of Hush and Yaza Man and Peacetime, and finally Prima Voce. Little change in that order as they continue their journey down the far side. Silver Season, Brian Rouse, Greville Starkey on Carla Glow. These ahead of Lobkowitz in third. Telephone Man showing signs of distress already as they begin to turn out of the back straight with about 5 furlongs left to race. At the halfway stage and in the Coral Eclipse, with Silver Season and Carla Glow disputing it from Lobkowitz in third. Then comes Kind of Hush in fourth place, and on the outside of him, Telephone Man. Behind Telephone Man is Yaza Man, and on the inside of Yaza Man comes Rockamador, then comes Peacetime, and the back marker is Prima Voce. Turning into the home straight, and Carla Glow now. Greville Starkey takes up the advantage from Silver Season. Lobkowitz is coming in third place. Telephone Man gets a reminder. Peacetime towards the right of the picture, and Pat Heddery begin to pick up ground. Just over 2 furlongs to go. Carla Glow, the 4-year-old, in the lead from Silver Season and Lobkowitz. Then Peacetime and Pat Heddery getting ever closer. 2.5 furlongs to go in the Coral Eclipse, and Carla Glow has the advantage from Lobkowitz in second place. Peacetime is third. Prima Voce is making up ground down the centre of the track. Yaza Man, the French challenger, is beaten. Just over a furlong to go, and it's Carla Glow in the lead from Lobkowitz and Peacetime. Carla Glow, Lobkowitz, Peacetime, Prima Voce, Telephone Man. Carla Glow in the lead inside the final furlong. Carla Glow holding off the challenges of Lobkowitz and Peacetime. Coming well inside the final half furlong. Carla Glow has the advantage. Beginning to draw away now from Lobkowitz as they come up towards the line. Carla Glow's going to win the Coral Eclipse easily. Coming up towards the line. Carla Glow's going to win it at the line. Carla Glow the winner. Lobkowitz is second. A very fast run by Rockamador, who finished third. Then came Peacetime and Kind of Hush, and behind him Telephone Man. Then Prima Voce, a big gap then to Yaza Man, and the back mark. Vitally important role as to who makes the running. Well, we'll know very shortly, because Assert, the last one into the stalls, that's it. They're under orders and they're off for the Benson and Hedges Gold Cup. Mr. Fluorocarbon going on in the very early stages of the race, and that one leads by length to Assert in second place, then Norwick is third, Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth, and then Say Primula, and then Castle Keep. They've run a furlong, and it's Assert going up on the outside to make this a true test of stamina. We know he stays very well indeed. He's already won 2 derbies going into the lead, so it's the market leaders. Assert from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place, then comes Norwick in third. Assert, Mr. Fluorocarbon, Norwick, then Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth, and Castle Keep sixth, and Say Primula back on the outside in seventh place as they continue their journey down the far side. And it's Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place, a gap then of a couple of lengths to Norwick in third. Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth. 6.5 furlongs to go in the Benson and Hedges, and it's Assert that leads from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place. Norwick is third, Amindus 4, Be My Native 5. Castle Keep is in sixth place, and Say Primula up on the outside is seventh. Just over 5.5 furlongs to go, so they're getting to the halfway stage. Assert, dual derby winner, in the lead. Seems to have settled the pace down just a fraction from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place. Then close on the heels of the leaders come Norwick in third, just being chased along that one, as Amindus goes into third place on the outside of Norwick. As they make the turn into the home straight, Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon. Then Amindus, Say Primula towards the left of the picture, Castle Keep going well in behind them. Be My Native is just struggling. 3.5 furlongs to go. Assert, Mr. Fluorocarbon, Amindus, Norwick, Hardwicke, Castle Keep, Say Primula and Be My Native. Just over 3 to go, and Assert in the lead, lengthening his stride from Mr. Fluorocarbon, Lester Pickett in second place. Panettone in the lead, 2.5 to go in the Benson Hedges, coming ahead, just looks over his shoulder there. There's no danger at this stage, just over 2 to go. Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon, going for all his worth. Amindus making up ground, Castle Keep under strong driving on the left of the picture, just over a furlong to go. Assert in the lead from Norwich in second place. Then comes Mr. Fluorocarbon, who's beaten. Then Amindus inside the final furlong. Assert in the lead from Norwich, Amindus. Castle Keep from Mr. Fluorocarbon. Assert drawing right away from these. Going to win this very, very handsomely indeed. Assert, a very impressive winner. Assert is the winner. Norwich is second, Amindus third, a photo over 4 between Mr. Fluorocarbon and Castle Keep, then Be My Native. And trailing them came Say Primula, and so the result of this, the 11th running of the Benson and Hedges Gold Cup. And you can see there, Assert so full of himself, tossing his head all over the place, giving Panettone 1 or 2 anxious moments, having passed the post, but none at all whatsoever in the race. He's turned out to be the winner. Number 4, Assert, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained in Ireland by David O'Brien, his first Group 1 winner in this country, bred by the Moyglaire Stud Farm Limited in Ireland, and ridden by Panettone, number 64, and by far the most important winner in this country for
Green, but he's the only one we haven't seen. Fearless Lad is one of the last few in, so over to you for a really thrilling sprint championship. Graham Good.
Yes, and a deep breath needed here for this 5-furlong trip. They're under orders and they're away. Very, very smartly away was Tina's Pet. Lester Pickett has up one immediately into the lead as they come to the first furlong. From just in behind him, Croft Hall, and also there is Sharpo just in behind the leaders. The French Raider Kai Music to the right of the picture. On the extreme right is Vaguely Star. And they come down to the halfway stage, and it's Tina's Pet. From on the left of the picture now, Royal Hobbit. That's the one with blinkers. In between these two is Croft Hall. The French Raider Kai Music to his right. Making up ground is Sweet Monday. Just in behind the lead is Sharpo, Cheltenham Park. On the very wide outside is Vaguely Star. They've just got 2 furlongs left to go. Tina's Pet and Kai Music. Then Royal Hobbit and Croft Hall. Then Sharpo beginning a run to the left of the picture with a white face. It's Fearless Lad. Just over a furlong to go. And it's Tina's Pet with Sharpo now finishing strongest of all. Sharpo quickening his stride, coming inside the final furlong. Sharpo drawing right away from Cheltenham Park, and Kai Music and Tina's Pet. Sharpo in the lead from Cheltenham Park. Kai Music, Tina's Pet at the line. Sharpo easing down from a photograph in second place. Kai Music and Cheltenham Park. Then Tina's Pet didn't get a very, very clear run, but that was, I'm afraid to say, after the post. And then Lucky Hunter. Then came Sweet Monday, and behind Sweet Monday, Fearless Lad. Then Royal Hobbit. Then Vaguely Star and Croft Hall, and trailing was Golden Green. And so the result of this, the William Hill Sprint Championship, is a historic 3rd victory for number 3 Sharpo, and in partnership by Miss Monica Sheriff and Mr. F.A.R. Packard, trained at Marlborough by Jeremy Tree and ridden by Steve Cawthon. Second was number 11 Cheltenham Park, ridden by Jeff Baxter. Third was number 10 Kai Music, ridden by Freddie Head. But they're under orders and they're away. The 1.5-mile journey before them, with up on the outside Swiftfoot going on. Swiftfoot in the lead from Last Feather, and now Height of Fashion going up on the outside of Swiftfoot, and Height of Fashion takes it up at the end of the first furlong. Height of Fashion from Swiftfoot in second place, then Last Feather is third, now I see fourth, Dancing Rocks fifth, and Cut Loose in sixth place. The back marker at this stage is Dish Dash, and Height of Fashion in a clear lead of some 3 to 4 lengths as she continues the journey down the far side. From in second place, Swiftfoot, then comes Last Feather in third. These ahead of Al Wasif in fourth place. Then Dancing Rocks fifth, and on the outside of Dancing Rocks is Cut Loose, and behind that one comes Dish Dash. Already a lot of daylight between first and last as they continue their journey down the far side of the Knaves Mile. Just over a mile to go, with Height of Fashion bowling along in front in fine style. From Swiftfoot in second place, and Last Feather is third. A gap then of some 3 to 4 lengths to Al Wasif in fourth place. Then comes Dancing Rocks, and the back marker is Dish Dash. Just under 7 furlongs to go. Height of Fashion in the lead. From Swiftfoot in second place, Last Feather third, Al Wasif fourth. Then behind that one comes Dancing Rocks. Then Cut Loose up on the outside of that, and the back marker is Dish Dash. Just over 5 furlongs to go as they begin the sweep into the home straight. Height of Fashion in the lead, Height of Fashion the leader. from Swiftfoot in second place. Last Feather is third, and now we'll see if and Cut Loose and Dancing Rocks and Dick Dash turning into the home straight, just over 4 to travel. And it's Height of Fashion from Greville Starkey in the lead. Then Willie Carson on Swiftfoot in second place. Then Last Feather is third. Cut Loose is making up ground on the outside. So at this stage in the Yorkshire Oaks, with 3.5 furlongs to go, it's a 1-2-3 for trainer Dick Hurd. Height of Fashion on the rails in the lead to the right of the picture. Now being passed by Swiftfoot, with Cut Loose coming with a run, as to his Last Feather. Leicester Prickett produces Awasif up on the outside. 2.5 furlongs to go. Swiftfoot committed, going for home. Swiftfoot, but on the outside, Awasif, then Cut Loose, then Dancing Rocks making up ground. A wide open race this. Just over 1.5 furlongs to go. Swiftfoot to the right of the picture. Leicester Prickett on the wide sleeves. Awasif. Dish Dash finishing fast. Just over 1 furlong to go. Swiftfoot on the rails in the lead. Then Awasif coming down the centre of the track. Dish Dash finishing fast at the wall. Then Dancing Rocks in 4th place. Inside the final furlong, and Awasif and Leicester Prickett power in the front. Awasif in the lead from Dish Dash, with Swiftfoot battling on, came up toward the line. A three-way photo, a photograph finish to the Yorkshire Oaks. Awasif, then Dish Dash, then Dancing Rocks, then Cut Loose, and behind Cut Loose came Last Feather and Height of Fashion, who trailed. And so the result of this, the Yorkshire Oaks, for me to a three-way photo.
Sextet now as they begin the run downhill towards the half-mile pole in the Goodwood Cup. Donegal Prince from Mons Bow, Ardross, Double Florin, Halsbury and Pops's Joy, and just coming to the 4 furlong marker now. Donegal Prince from Mons Bow, Ardross, Pops's Joy coming there quite strongly now towards the outside of Falklands as they come down towards the 3 furlong marker. Halsbury improving over on the far rail, and Ardross coming between Halsbury and Donegal Prince. Mons Bow, Pops's Joy on the far side, Double Florin not out of it, but Leicester Prickett holding a double handful as they race past the 2 furlong pole. And it's Ardross on the far side, Pops's Joy on the near side, between horses Donegal Prince, but Ardross is quickening, and it's Ardross, Leicester Prickett as they enter the final furlong now, from Donegal Prince and Pops's Joy, racing into the closing stages, and Ardross winning very cheekily indeed from Donegal Prince in second. And Ardross has won the Goodwood Cup from Donegal Prince. Halsbury's third and 4, Pops's Joy, 5 Double Florin, and 6th and last was Mons Bow, and so the result of the 1981 Goodwood Cup. First, number 1, Ardross, owned by Mr. Charles St. George, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Lester Piggott. Second, number 3.
2-1 time charter. Sing Softly 9-2. Dish Dash 6-1. Triple Tipple 7-1. Dancing Rocks 10. So is Sancta. Mainsail 14-1. 20-1. Bar 7.
Well, who've been disputing it throughout, from Sancta, who's now gone third. Just in behind them, Sing Softly, Dish Dash, Cardi Hard, Time Charter coming there. In behind them, Ash Ridge and Triple Tipple improving well, and so's Dancing Rocks, and they're passing the 3 furlong pole. Dion the Grey just in the lead from Clare Island, then Sing Softly and Cardi Hard and Sancta, and Dish Dash just in behind them, and Time Charter producing a great one towards the right of the picture, the Oaks winner now, and in fact to come and take it up, and it's Billy Nunes now. Time Charter being chased by Willie Carson on Mainsail. Triple Tipple just in behind him. Sing Softly over on the far side, but it's Time Charter in the lead. Dancing Rocks is putting in a good run, and Triple Tipple's trying to come there on the stand side, and it's Time Charter from Dancing Rocks. Dancing Rocks beginning to get up over on the far side, and to go away from him now, and it's Dancing Rocks from Time Charter and Triple Tipple, and up the line Dancing Rocks has won it, and Time Charter second, and Triple Tipple third, and fourth with Sing Softly.
Under starters orders, and they're away, and they're running in the Sussex, and Riahi is the first to show with On the House, and Silver Season going up to join him now, and in fact to take it up. And it's Silver Season going on from the Blinkered Achieve now. Then comes Belbeleed on the outside of On the House. Motivato has been dropped back to last place. Silver Season setting a blistering gallop from Belbeleed now in a close second. Just in behind him comes Achieve, then On the House, then Tender King, then No Alto. And behind No Alto is the Wonder as they run down towards the home stretch already. Silver Season in the lead from Belbeleed second. They're going a blistering gallop in Europe's richest mile race, and a record field at that. Silver Season in the lead from Belbeleed second. Then comes Achieved in third. Behind Achieved is On the House, the 1,000 guinea winner. Then comes Tender King, then No Alto on the inside, then Spanish Pool, and then the Wonder, and then Riahi, then Sandhurst Prince on the inner. Merlin's Charm still one of the back markers, racing down towards the 3 furlong pole. Silver Season being challenged now by Belbeleed. Then comes Achieved in behind them, then On the House, then No Alto over on the far side, the Wonder making a little bit of progress, Tender King, and then towards the outside Spanish Pool with Motivato coming there quite strongly too. They're coming down towards the 2 furlong pole, and it's Belbeleed in the lead from Achieved, On the House, the Wonder, Tender King, and on the outside Motivato. It's still Belbeleed in the lead, being pressed now by Achieved. Then comes On the House, then the Wonder under pressure. Sandhurst Prince coming there very strongly over on the far side, and it's Achieved now, On the House, and Sandhurst Prince just in behind them, Tender King. It's On the House in the lead now from Sandhurst Prince over on the far side. Sandhurst Prince and On the House. On the House has won it. On the House has won it from Sandhurst Prince second. Achieved was third, and 4 came Belbeleed, and then came Tender King, and behind them the Wonder, and then Riahi, and on the near side Spanish Pool, and then Red Sunset and No Alto, and Merlin's Charm, and Silver Season. The long-time leader was last, and so the result of the Sussex Stakes.
Trying
his Ladbrokes Air Gold Cup over 6 furlongs, and very smartly into his stride was Gavitat, who leads in the early stages. Then behind these, Vorvados, Milk Hard showing well. Next to the rails is Gambler's Dream. Also showing very good speed is Scaramanic, and also showing very good speed is Premier Boy. Towards the right of the picture is Out of Hand. Next to him in the bright yellow blinkers is Sparkling Boy. But they've completed just over 2 furlongs, and it's now Premier Boy in the lead. Next to the rails, Whirlwind. Just on the outside of these comes Camisite, then Sparkling Boy. Famous Star tracking these, then Scaramanic. Then Out of Hand just coming under pressure. Coming down to the halfway stage, Premier Boy in the centre of the track from Whirlwind. Then comes Famous Star. And it's Premier Boy, Whirlwind, Famous Star, then Brackadale. Next to the rails is Murillo. Just over 2 furlongs to go. And very little to choose between Premier Boy, Famous Star. Then Vorvados trying to get on terms. Then comes Brackadale, then Whirlwind. Then the favourite Milk Hard finishing well. Camisite towards the right of the picture, just a furlong left to go. And it's Famous Star who strikes the front from finishing very fast. Polly's brother. Famous Star in the lead from Polly's brother. Then comes Scaramanic finishing fast. Then Milk Hard. But coming down the centre of the track, it's Famous Star in the lead. Polly's brother is finishing very fast, coming up towards the line. Another photo finish, Famous Star from Polly's brother. Then Camisite and Scaramanic, then Milk Hard, then Murillo. And then came Vorvados and Gambler's Dream. And then came Premier Boy, and the back markers include Out of Hand. Also towards the rear was Sheergrit, Santelaman and Halin. Just over 2 furlongs to go. Ardross in the lead. Leicester Piggott just pumping away there. A furlong and a half to go. Ardross next to the rails. Leicester looks round. Santelaman is second. Sheergrit looks done with, but Hayden is coming with a run. Just over a furlong to go. Ardross from Santelaman and Hayden. Ardross, the class stare in the race, doing what he's best at, galloping resolutely to his final victory in England. Ardross in the lead from Santelaman in second place. Hayden is third. Ardross in the lead as they come up towards the line. Ardross going to put it quite handsomely. Ardross the winner. A photograph for second place. Hayden Santelaman, a big gap then to Baron Blakeney. Then Sheergrit, then Donegal Prince, then Nolino, and the back marker was Bedford. And so, for the 14th time in his career, victory has gone to Ardross. He's owned by Mr. Charles St George, trained at Newmarket by Henry Cecil, bred by the late P.J. Prendergast, ridden, of course, by Leicester Piggott, 149 of the season. Run like mad from My Dear Fellow, Catherine, then Cree Bay beginning to improve. Then comes Famous Star. Just over a furlong and a half to go. Run like mad with My Dear Fellow next to the rails. Catherine in between these two, then Cree Bay, then Famous Star. Then Touch Boy coming with a run, a furlong to go. My Dear Fellow on the near side just has the advantage from Touch Boy, who's getting no sort of run at all. My Dear Fellow, Famous Star now throwing down the challenge. And it's Famous Star and My Dear Fellow just holding on from Famous Star. But here comes Destin last and late, very late. Vorvados just gets there.
They're in, they're under orders, and they're away. Fast break by Sharpo and Sayef, and also Sanu, and Sayef going on now from Sanu. Then comes Indian King on the inside. Sharpo's been dropped back to 4th as they race towards the home turn. Sayaf with the advantage from Indian King, who's now gone 2nd. Then comes Sanu. Fearless Lad tracking him, and Sharpo swings wide towards the outside with Juster alongside him. They're racing towards the 3 furlong pole now already in the Vernon Sprint, and it's still Sayaf taking him along at a blistering pace from Indian King, and he's got a big advantage at the moment. Sayaf from Indian King. Sharpo's moved into 3rd. Then comes Sanu. Then comes Great Eastern and Fearless Lad and Juster behind them, and then Sweet Monday and Hello Cuddles is the back marker, and they're coming to the quarter-mile pole now, and it's still Sayaf in the lead from Indian King 2nd. Then comes Sharpo, Fearless Lad and Great Eastern. They're racing down towards the furlong pole, and it's still Sayaf being pressed by Indian King. Then comes Fearless Lad, then Sharpo, and Sharpo's got a lot to do, and he's not going to do it as they race into the closing furlong. It's Indian King striding away now from Fearless Lad and Sayaf, and Great Eastern putting in a tremendous finish, but as they come up towards the line, Indian King is going to win it, and at the line Indian King is the winner. 2nd is Great Eastern, and 3rd Fearless Lad. Then came Sayaf and Sharp.
Does he have to remove the floorboards?
What is this, the International Year of the Wally Brain or something? Listen, my good man, how do you think that great big heavy chandelier stays up there on that ceiling, eh? It is not by the power of prayer or double-sided sticky tape. There is a long threaded bolt through that chandelier. It goes through a wooden joist, and it's held in position by a locking nut. Now, in order to undo the locking nut, you must first lift up the floorboards. Au de jour?
We learn something new every day. If you need me, I shall be round at the garages.
Right. Here, while you're there, give the van a wash, will you? Ah, talking of Wally Brains.
Eh?
Come on. Wait, what's that?
I mean, this is terrific, isn't it?
What?
His lordship's nowhere to be seen, and now even the butler's having a moody. Do you reckon we're going to get paid?
Look, his lordship is away on holiday. He'll pay us when he gets back. Now, come on, get these ladders up. Yeah, you never know. Might be in for a bonus.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps he might bring us back a nice stick of rock each, eh?
Well, just shut up moaning, will ya? Wait, Grandad, how you doing?
All right, dear boy. I found it, Dale.
Yeah, I see he's found a nut. I told you we could trust him. Right, come on, get this out.
I've started to undo it.
Yeah. No! Go on, Benny, we ain't even up the ladders yet.
Grandad, don't you touch nothing till we tell you.
Come on, we better get up there. Right, Rodney, is there anything you want?
Yeah, I want to go home. Let me come to safe.
That is all right. Look, this is the chance I've been waiting for. Now, don't let me down, Rodney. Now, don't let me down. All right? All right, Grandad, we're ready. You can start undoing it now.
He's coming, dear boy. One more turn, Dale.
Right. Now brace yourself, Rodney. Brace yourself. That was undoing the other chandelier.
How can you tell?
Dear boy.
All right? What do you mean, all right? Look at it!
Did you drop it then?
How could we drop it? We wasn't even holding it. We was working on that one.
Well, I wish you'd have said...
They're running an April run is the first to show from Last Feather on the inside, and Benson going up to join them. Assert has only got 3 horses behind him at the moment, and it's Benson in the lead from Last Feather. Akaida goes up third, then April Run, then comes Mariacho with Harbour on the inside, and then Castiet, who's not far behind him, and Bicala also with the leaders, and Pat Edery now only has 2 behind him as they go up past the wood with Benson on the inside, Bicala wide towards the outer, being chased by Castiet and April Run, with on the inside Akaida. Upsides Akaida is Last Feather. Freddie Head still holding his place on the inside on Harbour, and the back marker at the moment is No Attention, and Assert making ground now towards the wide outside as they race out from behind the wood and continue their uphill climb. It's Benson on the inside of Bicala. Assert has now gone up on the outside of them into 3rd place. 4 on the inside is Akaida. Then comes Last Feather and Mariacho, and then Harbour, and then Awazif, and behind Awazif is Ardross making ground from the rear. Castiet has lost his place now, and they're running down now towards the turn with Benson in the lead from Bicala second. Akaida comes next. Assert in a close 4th place. Then comes Harbour, then Last Feather, and then Ardross improving as they race downhill now with just 5 furlongs left to run in the Arc de Triomphe. It's Benson in the lead from Bicala in second. Akaida is third. Then comes Assert in 4 with Harbour moving close on the inside in 5. Ardross is just behind them, and then Last Feather, and they're racing down now towards the turn with Benson, Fredo Gilbert in the lead from Bicala second. Then comes Akaida on the inside, then comes Assert, Ardross towards the outside. Harbour has lost a couple of places now. They're swinging round into the straight with under 3 furlongs left to run, and it's still Benson in the lead, being pressed by Bicala. Assert is under pressure on the outside. Awazif is unleashing a great run, and Akaida coming there very strongly
two, and Awazif on the outside, being pressed by April Run now, and it's Awazif, April Run, Akaida over on the far side. Leicester coming there very strongly on Ardross, but it's Akaida in the lead from Awazif, April Run and Ardross. Ardross delivering a tremendous challenge now as they race towards the line. It's Akaida from Ardross, Awazif as they come up towards the line. It's Akaida and Ardross, Ardross and Akaida, and a photo finish, a photo between Ardross and Akaida. Awazif and April Run came next, followed by Rail.
The Hungerford Stakes and they're off. And a little bit behind the rest was Red Sunset, and Macmillan's fast away with I'll See You on the inside, Parasol fast away on the outside, and Red Sunset being pushed up to join the others, but it's Macmillan who leads from I'll See You, and Silly Stephen in third, then Red Sunset on the inside of Parasol, then Beldo, Lustre and Chalon moving into fourth place now, having missed the break today. Normally in front by this stage, but now it is Macmillan who leads from I'll See You in second, then Silly Stephen and the rails in the inside. Leicester coming a little bit wide of them on Chalon. And behind Chalon, tracking Chalon, it's Parasol as they come to the 4 furlong marker. Macmillan and John Reed making it from Willie Carson, who in fact moves into the lead now on I'll See You. Behind those from the rails is Red Sunset already under pressure. In the centre of the course is Silly Stephen, then Chalon and Lester Piggott, and following Chalon and Lester Piggott is Pat Eddery on Parasol on the outside, and following that one is Scaramanic. 2.5 furlongs to run. It's I'll See You from Macmillan on the far side. Lester Piggott just bustling Chalon along. Here comes Parasol on the outside as they come to the 2 furlong marker. Chalon hits the front, but under pressure from Lester Piggott. Parasol and Pat Eddery coming fast. Behind those is Beldale Lustre cruising, then Scaramanic, and on the wide outside is Hayes. And now it's Parasol from Chalon. Chalon under pressure and not going to win today. It's Parasol, pressed now by Beldo, Lustre and Hayes. But Parasol, the Irish challenger, and Pat Eddery holding off. Beldo, Lustre is under pressure now, and Hayes with 50 yards to go. It's going to be a win for the Irish with Parasol. Parasol lets the line and win from Beldo, Lustre closing for third between Mean Francine and Hayes. Then came Chalon, a disappointing 4,000 winner bid for Lester Piggott. He's no winner today, and last of all to finish was Red Sunset. So a photo for third, but no doubt about the 1-2 in the Hungerford Stakes. A win for number 10, Parasol, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained by David O'Brien.
They're all installed, under orders, and they're away, with Care Poor up on the outside and Zylos going into an early lead, tracked by Rivellino and Shem, and then Muslab, the pacemaker for Derby, second, Touching Wood, and it's now Muslab who goes into the lead. Muslab the leader, from Care Poor in second place, then Touching Wood, then Zylos, then Shem, then Rivellino, then the favourite Electric is next to the rails. Behind him, Rockamador. The back marker at this stage is Palace Gold, but Muslab out and clear. From Touching Wood in second place and Care Poor third. Then comes Rivellino in fourth, and behind him Zylos. Then Lester Piggott on Jalmood, then Electric. And the back marker is Palace Gold, but Muslab going well clear, some 8, 10, 12 lengths clear of Touching Wood in second place. Muslab clear from Touching Wood in second, then comes Care Poor third. Then Rivellino is in fourth place, and behind Rivellino is Zylos. Then next to the rails is Electric. And it's Muslab a long, long way clear, making this a true test of stamina for Touching Wood, who in fact is leading the main group. So it's Muslab clear from Touching Wood in second place as they dip down the far side, and there is the main group of runners headed by Touching Wood, with Born Hero just in behind him, Rivellino up on the outside, then Norwick ridden along with the French challenger Le Nangeon, then comes Zylos, next to the rails is Electric, then Shem, then comes Rockamador. Muslab though in the lead as they make their journey towards the halfway stage in the St. Leger. Muslab clear from Touching Wood second, then Rivellino on the outside of these is third, and these are clear from Born Hero in fourth place. But it's Muslab in the lead, but coming back to his field, Touching Wood is second, Rivellino is third. These clear from Zylos, who stayed on to be fourth now, ahead of Born Hero fifth. Then comes Le Nangeon, and behind Le Nangeon is Norwick. Le Nangeon, the French raider, making up ground, as to is Shem. But Muslab come right back to his field now from Touching Wood. Muslab in the lead as they begin the turn into the home straight. In this, the St. Leger, just over 5 furlongs to go. Muslab in the lead, from Rivellino in second, then Zylos is third. Touching Wood on the inside. Behind these comes Rivellino, then comes Norwick, then Le Nangeon just poking his head into the picture. Behind these comes Shem, then Broken Rail, who begins to pick up ground. Palace Gold is still the back marker, and as they come to the point, just 4 furlongs from home, it's Muslab down the centre of the track with Rivellino. Next to the rails is Touching Wood, just in behind these is Zylos. Le Nangeon coming with a run, Broken Rail coming with a run, Rockamador in behind them, so too is Born Hero. Just 2.5 furlongs left to go in a very open race, with Touching Wood next to the rails in the lead from Zylos. Touching Wood from Xylos, then Broken Rail, with Diamond Shoulder unleashing a run down the centre of the track. 2 furlongs left to go. Touching Wood, Xylos from Diamond Shoulder, then Rockamador, then Norwick and Broken Rail. A furlong and a half left to go in the St. Ledger, and Xylos throwing down the challenge to Touching Wood. Touching Wood and Xylos inside the final furlong now. Touching Wood from Xylos and Diamond Shoulder, Norwick and Rockamador. Touching Wood staying on. Touching Wood in the lead from Xylos and Diamond Shoulder, Norwick coming up toward the line. Touching Wood's going to win it. Coming up toward the line. Touching Wood is the winner. Xylos is second, Diamond Shoulder third, Norwick 4. Then Rockamador. Then came Jalmood, and behind Jalmood came Carepaw, then Palace Gold, who stayed on. Behind Palace Gold was Broken Rail, then Born Hero, then Shem, then Lenangeau, then Revelino. Muslab and the back marker, last of all, was Electric, a most disappointing run by him. And so the result of this, the St. Ledger, is a win for number 15, Touching Wood, owned by Makhtoum Al Makhtoum, trained at Newmarket by Tom Jones, ridden superbly by Paul Cook.
All in store for the Royal Lodge, and they're running. Castle Guard, one of the first to show. Castle Guard going on from Leafard Special, and behind the lines and Boniface and Hot Boy, and just in behind them come Kuwait Tower and Dunbeath, the Noble Player on the inside, and the back marker is Northern Circuit.
The Royal Lodge Stakes, a Group 2 one-mile event, run on the round course at Ascot in September, has always been a significant Derby trial. The ground last year was heavy, and although Dunbeath was successful at the line, it was only his courage which saw him home. The field was strong, and Leicester was anxious not to lay too far off the pace in the early stages.
Dunbeath, and then Hot Boy, Kuwait Tower and Northern Secret getting closer, but Castle Guard still in the lead, racing towards the half-mile pole now in the Royal Lodge Stakes, and it's Castle Guard from Leafard Special and St. Boniface, then hit the lines, then comes Dunbeath, then on the outside of Dunbeath, Hot Boy, then comes Noble Player. Then behind them, Northern Secret, and behind Northern Secret, hit the lines, has lost ground towards the outside behind the lines, and into the straight now, and Castle Guard swinging wide.
See how he challenges in the straight, bringing his mount up through the middle of the course. Dunbeath doesn't find such an impressive turn of foot as at York, but note how Leicester switches his whip hand in order to keep the horse running straight. A little touch of greenness, perhaps. Dunbeath certainly battles on gamely to beat the toughest opposition he had encountered to date, on ground he clearly disliked.
Finishing well, but Dunbeath still holding Leafard Special as they race up towards the line. Number 1 at the meeting for Leicester Piggott as they come to the line. In the Royal Lodge, Dunbeath is the winner, second is Leafard Special, third is the Noble Player, 4 Kuwait Tower.
Early leader being attended by Princess Gate, Mindus right up on the outside, Kind of Hush just in behind them. Then comes Lobskovich, and then Time Charter, Zeno, and the back mark in the early stage is Buzzards Bay. And I wonder if this is going to be Buzzards Bay Day that he declines not to put his best. But meanwhile, the leaders are now covered about a furlong and a half. Calaglow, Greville Starkey taking them along at a good even pace. Lobkovich on turns with him. So too is a Mindus. A little gap after that to Princess Gate, followed by Kind of Hush. Zeno comes next in Time Charter, who's racing with Mondekin. Then on the far side, Criterion. Then comes Rajan and Noalto, Carl Paling, and the last two, Prima Voce, and then comes Buzzards Bay. And so they've got about 7 furlongs still to go. Little change in the order. Calaglow, Lobkovich, and Amindus, the first 3. They're followed by Princess Gate. Then comes Kind of Hush and Zeno. Then just in behind them towards the far side, Criterion. On the near side, Mondekin. And still towards the rear of the field, to pack the last 4, Count Palin, Noalto, Prima Voce, and then comes Buzzards Bay. And with Amindus just in the lead, back to Graham.
The favourite Calaglo next to the rail, spotted orange cap, Lubkowitz towards the left, Zeno, the French raider in the hoop jacket just behind the leaders. But just over 4 furlongs to go, and Mindus in the spotted jacket from Lubkowitz on his outside, then Calaglo next to the rails, tracked by Montague, then Princess Gate, Buzzards Bay coming with a run up on the outside. So to his Count Parle and Time Charter, not got a lot of room there with 3.5 furlongs to go in this the Dubai Champion Stakes, and Greville Starkey now committed on Calaglo, the favourite, in a lead from Mindus in second place. Montague going very well in third, Count Parle making up ground on the outside, and Billy Newnes with a tremendous run through on the rails on Time Charter, tracking Calaglo with just 2.5 furlongs to go past the bushes. Next to the rails it's Calaglo, then Montague, then Time Charter going very well indeed in between these, then just in behind these come Prima Voce up on the outside, Rajan finishing well, got a furlong and a half to go, and it's next to the rails, it's Time Charter and Montague, Time Charter, Prima Voce. Calaglo had to be checked there, then comes Rajan finishing well, then Noel, then Princess Gate, but it's Time Charter in the lead coming inside the final furlong. Time Charter in the lead from Prima Voce and Montague. Time Charter drawing wide away from Prima Voce, Montague. Noelto finishing well, and so too is Rajan, but Time Charter well clear, 6 to 8 lengths clear out the line. Time Charter the winner, a photo for second place between Prima Voce, then Noelto, then Montague, then Princess Gate, then came Rajan, then came Parle, and then Kind of Hush, then Calaglo.
Then Sea Captain Henry Bishop of Fowler at the previous fence and rounding the home turn, and Captain John now with 2 fences between himself and victory. The first victory it would be for the north of England in the 14th running of the SGB Handicap Chase. Robert Earnshaw on the Hennessy Gold Cup runner-up. Captain John jumps the second last fence, well clear of Earthstopper, a Fowler in the Hennessy Cognac. Sea Captains just jump at third and Abo 4, and now Captain John with just 1 fence now between himself and victory in the SGB Handicap Chase. He's well clear of Earthstopper. Captain John comes to the final fence now, jumps it well, leaves a lot of daylight between himself and the top of the fence, jumps it well, gets away from it well, and Earthstopper jumps it second. Sea Captain third, but striding up to the line all on his own, Captain John wins the SGB Handicap Chase in tremendous style. Second, Earthstopper, and third will be Sea Captain.
Number 2.
And fourth, Abo. So the result of the SGB Handicap Chase, first number 2, Captain John, owned by Mr. F. Amami, trained by Michael Dickinson, ridden by Robert Earnshaw. Left Artifice clear. Artifice clear in the lead now from $50 more in second. Then comes Tackroy, and then Marshall Knight, King or Country, and Wayward Lad making ground. Artifice landed in the lead there from $50 more and Tackroy. Wayward Lad nearly a faller, rounding the home turn, and it's Artifice a long way clear. Artifice, who unshipped his rider back in 1979, is coming to win the Murchison Gold Cup if he stands up at the last. Artifice is well clear of $50 more, who's second. Artifice in the lead from $50 more. Artifice lands well. $50 more jumps it second. Wayward Lad jumps it third. Tackroy 4, and racing into the closing stages, it's Artifice with $50 more in second. $50 more is putting in a tremendous run, but Artifice is still holding him. But they come to the line. It's Artifice with $50 more, putting in a tremendous run to get up and win it. $50 more has got up to win it from Artifice and Wayward Lad, and then came King or Country and Tackroy and Leslie Ann, and behind them came Scottish Bar and Marshall Knight and Neon Light. Will the judge call for a photo? I think $50 more has got up in those closing stages to beat Artifice. Is the judge going to call for a photo? It's yet to be announced. $50 more, the finisher on the boy, improving from 4th position. Then comes Sea Captain, then Scott Lane, racing down to the 4th last fence now in the Hennessy, and it's Corbiere, Captain John, Brigon, and Megan's Boy still making progress. Captain John looks as though he's going to land in the lead, lands in the lead from his stable companion Brigon. Then comes in 3rd place Corbiere, then Megan's Boy still making progress under pressure as they come to the final ditch now. And it's Captain John and Brigon, the 2 Michael Dickinson stable companions from Megan's Boy, who jumps into 3rd now. Corbiere is 4, 5 is Sea Captain, coming down to the 2nd last fence now. Brigon and Captain John from Megan's Boy. Brigon lands in the lead from Captain John on the far side. Megan's Boy makes a mistake. Sea Captain improving. Corbiere still trying to get back in the picture, but coming to the final fence now.
and it's Brigon, the favourite, from his stable companion, Captain John. These two, the Michael Dickinson duo, Brigon and Captain John, there's very little between them. A mistake there by Brigon, hands the initiative now to Captain John, and racing into the closing stages, it's Captain John with Brigon renewing his challenge. Racing into the closing stages, Brigon is beginning to get up. Here's Glass telling as they race to the line, Brigon is going to win it, and at the line, Brigon wins the Hennessy. Second is Captain John, third Sea Captain, 4 and 5 are Megan's Boy and Corbiere, and then came Straight Jocelyn and Bold Argument and Scott Lane, and so the result of the 1982 Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. First, number 2, Brigon, owned by Mr. J. Keneally, trained by Michael Dickinson, ridden by Graham Bradley. Second was number 6, Captain John, owned by Mr.
It's Broadsword, who's made every yard of the running, still in the lead. Broadsword the leader, from Ecbalco in second. Broadsword from Ecbalco, and there's some 8 to 10 lengths clear from Janus. So this race is going to develop into a match, as the betting would suggest, as they turn into the home straight with just 2 flights of hurdles to jump. Broadsword in the lead, Peter Scudamore, then comes John Joe O'Neill and Ecbalco. Broadsword and Ecbalco, Broadsword and Ecbalco as they come down to the second from home. Broadsword from Ecbalco, Broadsword in the lead from Ecbalco, just being chased along by John Joe O'Neill, getting closer though as they come down to the final flight. Broadsword and Peter Scudamore under pressure as Ecbalco comes down to the final flight, disputing the lead with him. Just a furlong and a half to race, 1 more flight of hurdles to jump, and Ecbalco on the outside of Broadsword. Broadsword staying on in really most determined fashion. It all depends how they jump the last. Ecbalco nearer to us, the better jump from Broadsword, who is equally good, but Broadsword is running on the flat. Ecbalco and Broadsword well clear from Janus. Ecbalco and Broadsword on the far side. Broadsword getting up from Ecbalco, who's sticking his neck out. Another exciting finish coming up towards the line. Ecbalco just has it at the line. Another photo. Ecbalco and Broadsword. Ecbalco just to lead from attention with 4 to jump, and it's Silverbuck who looms up on the inside of Little Owl, and Silverbuck going on from Little Owl with $50 more in third place. And comes Wayward Lad in fourth. They've just got 3 more fences left to jump in the King George VI chase, and it's Silverbuck in the lead from Little Owl in second place. $50 more is third, then Wayward Lad is fourth, and these 4 well clear from Night Nurse and Foxbury, who is continuing but tailed off. So into the home straight then, 3 to jump, and it's Silverbuck in the lead from Little Owl. $50 more going very well in between these two. Then Wayward Lad coming down to the third from home. Silverbuck from $50 more. Little Owl looks beaten 3 out. Silverbuck from $50 more. Then Wayward Lad and Little Owl coming down to the second from home in this the King George VI chase. And Silverbuck being challenged by $50 more, and Wayward Lad. Silverbuck $50 more. Wayward Lad just 1 more fence to jump. And the Dickinson pair with Silverbuck and Wayward Lad being challenged by $50 more. Very little choice between the 3. Wayward Lad on the near side, Silverbuck on the far side. $50 more in between these two as they jump the final fence. They're in the air together, they touch down together. $50 more, Wayward Lad and Silverbuck, and it's Wayward Lad on the near side. $50 more fighting back. Wayward Lad from $50 more and Silverbuck. Wayward Lad $50 more, Silverbuck. Wayward Lad wins it from $50 more in second place. Then came Silverbuck in third, and these 3 well clear from Little Owl, who finished a rather tired fourth, and then came Night Nurse back in 5th place, and Linda Sheedy completed the track to finish 6th and last. And so the result of this, the King George VI chase, is a win for number 8, Wayward Lad, owned by Mrs. S.N. Thewlis, trained at Harewood by Michael Dickinson, giving a superb ride by John Frankham. Second was number 3, $50 more, ridden by Richard Dinley. And
Jumpy, he looked flat once or twice.
More or less, only because I'm off the bridle. I've got no gears to go forward with. I'm either jumping and right in my stride, or I'm not. I can't go forward to meet any of the fences.
But then 2 out, I mean, it was all action, John.
2 out, you know, I mean, then I've realised I've just got myself into the race.
Well, we can actually look at it from 3 out, so you're going to have to have an even longer, a longer push. Here you are, turning in. Silverbuck goes on. We have Robert Earnshaw, actually. Robert, who'd like to come in. Robert Earnshaw's with us here as well. Robert, you thought you could go clear then?
I don't mind. Just, I knew the other fella might come and do me for speed.
And was Wayward Lad more than $50 more you were worried about?
Yes,
Well, you're, what, 3 lengths clear, and John, quite a bit to work up there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, $50 more was the winner turning for home. He was going really well. Richard's run there without doing much. And there you see, I've just come back into the picture now. I don't know if that's the last or the second lap.
That's the second lap, there's more work to go yet.
Yeah, and I've met the last spot on, got down to him a little bit, and he's gone and jumped this really well. I think this is one in the race. Doesn't get very high, but he's very, very quick across the fences.
And safe if you come here absolutely flat out. And Robert, you also jumped that well. Do you think you might hang on?
I might just, but he's needed to run a little bit. He's just just tiring a bit now.
Well, here you are, John. Beating Fred Winter, your own stable.
Yeah, I must admit I'd have been annoyed if he got up and beaten me. This horse has gone and done it nicely in the end, so he felt like he wanted further.
So that puts us into a Gold Cup situation, John. Will you win a Gold Cup, Wayward Lad? A bit further?
I'm a bad judge. I don't know. It's no good asking me.
Robert, what about Silverback and next year's Gold Cup?
He's only needed a run a little bit. He missed a week's work and he's just needed a run a bit today.
So for his fans at home, you're not despondent for
No, not at all, no.
Both of you gentlemen, thank you very much for coming and talk to us, and congratulations for what was a really marvellous race. I think you're all
Well, we had to stop it before we get to the best bit, simply because we actually want them to have a go at doing a little bit of live music here. Just before ABBA play us out from this edition of the show, can I remind you that I'll have as my guests next week Fleetwood Mac and the incredible Diana Ross. We've also got Kevin Munn, a viewer who's got a chance to come in and meet ABBA. Could we possibly have a little bit of music from you? Don't look like that as if it's a surprise. Please don't walk out. We'd like you to play us out of the programme. Kevin, do come in. Come over here. The words?
In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. Out loud, so I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? Where are we? So I say thank you for the music.
Up on the boom, all right. I think it was